Hi, my name is Derek Winchester, representing Team Init 6. The question I want to answer today is, what is an API? Now, everybody, hopefully at this point, knows what an API is, but probably nobody's ever used this in production or anything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm also going to show you a tool that I use when looking and actually validating APIs and so forth. It's called Postman. So, uh, so I hope you guys are ready to walk through this with me. However, there's going to be a few of you guys that still don't know what the API is. All right. So for my example, I'm going to start using the Cisco ACI solution provided by the sandbox at Cisco. And before I would do so, I Googled REST API. It's that simple, right? So this takes you to the Apic REST API configuration guide. And I love it because the fact that this is how I got started, right? I actually went down and I wanted to know, instead of just using cut and pasting skills that most of you probably already mastered, I wanted to know what URI components made up an API. And looking at this actually walks you through how to read a REST API. So just take a look at this document. Don't memorize it. Use it for reference and use it along your journey on trying to become a spectacular DevNet engineer. So this is the Apic. The Apic is a controller for the Cisco ACI. Keep in mind, this is not an ACI tutorial. This is a tutorial just using a basic API. So let me go ahead and log into our Cisco sandbox. Everyone has access to this sandbox, even you. And I'm logged in here, and the first thing I see on this screen, right, is, well, I'm seeing errors, but keep in mind that this is sandbox. The first thing I see on this screen is I see system health, right? So I, what if there was a quicker, more convenient way to check the health of my ACI nodes, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on Show API Inspector. Okay, there's a reason for this. So here's the ACI Inspector. I am, like I said, I wanted to get the health scores for my nodes, right? And what it does, this page right here, it gives you the 5-minute average of health scores, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this page here, okay? Um, Provided it doesn't take too long, I just reset this page, and the first thing I want to get off this page is method get. I want to use a get, and I want to pull my overall health score in 5 minutes increments, right? This is what it already gave me. So let me take this link, and I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to move over to another tool. So the tool I'm going to use is called Postman. Postman is actually a lifesaver here. And you know what? Let me break this down for you. And here's my definition of why I use Postman. All right. So we all know that APIs can be used to configure, to do, I'm sorry, let me talk in programming terms. Can a get can do a post, right? Get means I'm retrieving information. Post means I'm submitting information. Um, and we all know that in this new revolution, that we're going to be using scripts to be able to use these APIs to be able to provision and program Cisco devices and so forth. But let's just take a step back. What is Postman? Postman is my Python. Postman is my tool that I'm going to use to validate APIs to get information. And also, I do configuration using Postman. So let's step through just a basic example of Postman. All right. First and foremost, I have right here my environment. I specified my environment to right now to have, and let's take a look at it. Why am I? Here's my environment. I have my Apic which is the sandbox at Cisco. I also have, oops, my username and password to get into that sandbox at Cisco. Um, that is my variable, right? So these are my variables that I have set with my environment. My environment is what I'm going to use to authenticate and to be using, and I'm going to use the get and put requests and so forth based on the Apic IP address given by my variables. So let me go ahead and authenticate into this fabric. So I just authenticated. Status is 200 OK. And for the sake of argument, let me go ahead and create a new. Let me go ahead and create a new um, element here. So let me go ahead and add a request, and I'm going to put this request under objects here. So this request is HTTP health score example. I'm going to save it to the objects. It's going to create one here. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just paste simply what we already put in here, right? You notice that this is secure, HTTPS. I've already had my authentication, which should still be valid. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and send this request. As simple as that. Right now, I'm getting the average health scores based upon, let's go back to ACI, based upon a 5-minute incremental of the fabric. This is the fabric's health score in 5-minute increments. If I wanted to see it again, I just go ahead and submit again. Right now, this is the data that I have. Right. Let's go back to ACI. Save information. In fact, you look here, let me go ahead and pull this back a little bit. Here are the health scores. So right now I'm not dealing with, this is a sandbox, obviously, and I'm not going to really, get that lot of information. What I wanted to show you was how to properly use an API to get information from a Cisco network device. Again, Postman is a very robust tool. Essentially, it does what I just showed you, but it also, you can create collections, you can use automation. I use this to validate APIs and figure out what I can do in an event that I do have to automate a specific task. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. I do not mind demoing anything to anyone.